Wow, I haven't reviewed a video game in such a long time. I think the last one was Donkey Kong Country. No new game reviews. I hope that'll all change when this one in Mortal Kombat X releases next week. Yeah, it's very soon. But right now, let's talk about the Final Fantasy 15 demo with the free game inside. Okay, so Final Fantasy Type-0 HD. So Final Fantasy Type-0 HD is about this land called Orient, and they contain 4 different states. And each state has these crystals that control certain types of power, such as magic, science and weapons, and even dragons. Until this really evil group called the Militesi Empire arrives, and they just want to wreck shit up because they're bad guys and they do bad guy stuff. And this group of 14 teenagers by the name of Class 0, they come into play and they don't want the Militesi Empire to destroy any of the crystals, because if they do that, it just messes up order and balance and may even bring the land of Orient into this apocalyptic event. And everybody's main purpose in this game is trying to become the Agito, which is basically this figure that rises up that can either save or destroy the land of Orient. And what I got from it is basically a race for the good guys and the bad guys to become the Agito. It's basically what I got from the story. Either I wasn't really paying attention or I'm just slow. The story's just kind of hard to follow. Now the reason why I got this game is because I wanted to play the Final Fantasy 15 demo, because all the footage from E3 made it look like this game is gonna be a masterpiece. When I bought the demo, I was like, oh look, there's a free game inside. I have still yet to play the demo, but I wanted to get into Type-0 before I get into Final Fantasy 15. And apparently Type-0 was originally a PSP game that was released a long time ago in Japan, so us Americans never really got a chance to play it. And I see why they never brought it over to the States, because there's a lot of good and there's quite a bit of bad. Now before you guys just tear me apart, I am not the biggest fan when it comes to the Final Fantasy series, and that reason being are the stories it tells. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good stories, but there's just so much to them for a video game, it just kind of takes me out of them. I mean, hey, if you showed me a picture of Cloud, I'll be like, okay, he's from Final Fantasy 7. I'm familiar with the characters. And that's one of the problems with Type-0 HD, is that there's just so many elements to its storytelling, you just lose track of what's going on. Because the story I explained is my interpretation of the basic premise, but as you continue playing this game, it just continues throwing more and more plot at you unexpectedly. I'm like, whoa, guys, slow down, just please give me a chance of what's really going on here. Like I said, I could just be really slow at picking up the story. But for some people like me, they don't want to play a game that has amazing storytelling, they just want something that has great gameplay and high replay value. And something that will keep them hooked until Mortal Kombat X comes out. That's me. Now I say the gameplay was really the best part about Type-0. It was actually pretty fun. It adopts the real-time action battle system where the combat is fast-paced, you can lock on and switch different targets, and your team only consists of 3 characters, but each character has their specific weapons, powers, and unique abilities. It took some time for me getting used to the battle system, but once I did, I was hooked. I couldn't put it down. But since you're on a team of 3 in combat, those 3 get the experience points, where the others that don't fight, they don't level up at all. It's actually a pretty cool way to find out which team suits you best. Do you like long-range combat, characters that use magic, or hand-to-hand combat? All these 14 playable characters contain that. I usually like a mix of long-range combat and hand-to-hand combat, and the team I use is Ace, Trey, and Seiss. Those 3 work wonders for me. The only problems I have with the battle system is that when you get into a fight that you don't want to get into, or you come across big fuckers like this in the game, you don't have an option of running away. Either you defeat them or you die. That's really the only way you can get out of this bullshit. And the camera angles gets way out of control within and outside combat. The camera gets all jumbly at times where it just loses focus of the targets and it causes me to die more. And there's no way to adjust the sensitivity. They just give you the setting and you just have to deal with it. Should have worked on that a little bit more. And just a quick note, if you get this game or rent it, I advise you to train as much characters as possible. You'll understand why. You're able to do missions that require a certain level, but if you don't have those certain characters at the level they need to be, you're basically screwed, since the mission will just have your team dying and you'll just be pissed from that. And what's cool about preparing for the main mission is that it gives you time to free roam the land of Orient. You can either train your team, do side missions outside of Academia, or buy certain items that's only available in that certain city. You get to see Orient as this grand world where the elements of this RPG game really shine. The possibilities are endless within this map. And like any other RPG game, the further you go down Orient, the higher level your enemies gain, which means more experience points and your chance to upgrade your team to its maximum potential. And the way that works is that every character earns ability points each level gain, and for any skill you want him or her to use, you use those points to get that skill. Kinda sucks that you can only equip 2 skills out of 100. It's like, why can I use every skill that I paid for? Guess the game doesn't want you kicking too much ass with your team. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Type-0 has some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard in a video game, just ever. I mean, check this out.
You must be quiet inside the Crystarium. By the crystal. You are cadets, you should know better.
Hey yo. That's going a little bit too far, don't you think, huh?
I've no interest in speaking to the uncultured.
What the hell did you just say? You want a piece of me, punk? Hey, yo! Heh. I bet you don't have any friends, do ya? Always in here reading, huh?
See what I mean? It's so bad where it's kind of enjoyable in a really shitty way. I mean, they try so hard to be serious, but in the end, you just don't take them seriously at all. You just find a lot of "that's what he said" jokes within their dialogue, just like this. Time to pull out. I mean, for a game to have the letters HD within their name, they couldn't have the time to improve on some of the voice acting, or better yet, some of the graphics and character movements in the game. Only the main characters of Class 0 and a few cities here and there, you really feel that HD quality, where the rest of the game just feels like PS2. Some of the people that you communicate with, it's like Square Enix said, you know what, let's just give them shitty quality. They're only here for the Final Fantasy 15 demo. I could have sworn in one cutscene where you see some of the monsters moving like this, and it's like, what the hell is that shit? It's not HD. I'm playing a PSP game on the PS4. So in the end, Final Fantasy Type-0 HD had a story that was pretty hard to follow. The real-time combat system made this game really fun. It had its flaws, but it still gave you a good time. The world of Orient is in this grand scale where your exploration abilities are endless, topped with shitty voice acting where it seems like the HD within the title lies to you. Cause I say, if you really want to play Final Fantasy Type-0 HD, just wait till it's on sale for $30. If you can find a used copy at GameStop for that certain price, you'll be a happy camper when you play this game. Have you guys played Final Fantasy Type-0 HD? What did you guys think about it? That's a long title, I know. Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below. And as always, there's a link for my Twitter and my Facebook in the description as well. Keep in contact with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But in the meantime, I have to get going.